Hi everyone, and welcome to Building Skills and Understanding Careers. My name is Audrey Walls and I am a part of the Career Services staff here at Business Career Services, or BCS. And today we'll be presenting on a basic overview of what you need to know to get your career started, especially for human resources majors. So we'll cover our services at BCS, which are available online this semester, how to get involved and build skills as a human resources major, and the most common human resources job titles and where to search for them. And lastly, we'll go over how to set up an appointment with BCS if you need to. So now that we have a roadmap, let's go ahead and get started. So first up is an overview of our services here at Business Career Services. If you don't know us already, our physical location in Sneed Hall is B1102, so we're right around the corner from Bleecker Street Cafe. But this semester, we're offering all of our services online virtually, which means that appointments, programs, even career fairs like you see here, are all going to be online. So our one-on-one appointments can cover literally anything related to your career search, from reviewing resumes and cover letters, to helping you out with job searching and career exploration, right up to when you're practicing interviews and accepting those job offers in your junior and senior years. You can also make appointments with us about setting up things like your LinkedIn profile, how to use Handshake, or even thinking about grad school if that's something you want to pursue. Some programs in the middle column that we run outside of one-on-ones are the Monday morning This Week in Sneed Hall emails that you'll see go out. That just kind of keeps you informed about the things that are going on every week in Sneed Hall related to business students. We have electronic resume review using our new software system that's called VMOC. We're posting jobs and internships all the time in Handshake. And we're also using VCU BizConnect as a way to connect with alumni in the business community, as well as developing our own fancy YouTube playlist that has videos for just about every topic. And it even includes a series on job searching and job tools during COVID-19. And last but definitely not least, in this last column here, our fall career fair is coming up, and it'll be held virtually for this semester. So it's on September 15th from 11 to 3 in the afternoon, and there'll be group events on Zoom as well as one-on-one time slots for you to talk with employers and recruiters, the same as you would if you were going up to a table at a career fair. You are required to register ahead of time, and you can choose the companies you're interested in if you want to do one-on-ones, so that we're able to schedule a time slot for you, which is pretty cool if you think about it, because that means that if you're interested in a specific company, we can guarantee that you'll be able to talk with them if you act soon enough. So it won't be about trying to make sure that you jump in on the table and kind of, get your way in there. We can go ahead and reserve that time so you're guaranteed to talk with people who you want to talk with. All right, so next up, let's talk about some things you can specifically do as a human resources major to really amplify your experience while you're in school. We've put information in 3 different buckets here. So we've got on campus, on your own, and through internships. So in our on-campus section, you really want to think about how you can get involved with a student organization or a group on campus in a way that uses your HR skills that you're learning in class. Find a student group that interests you and see if they have a recruitment or a membership leadership role, anything that you can take on. Something that puts you out there meeting people, making connections, going to career fairs or SOVO fairs, and really using some of the skills you would use at a company to hire or recruit people, but this way you're doing it for a student org instead of a company. You can also check out the Student Opportunity Center, or SOC, at VCU, which is a new website that partners with other on and off-campus opportunities to share several ways that you can involved with other organizations besides just VCU organizations or student orgs. The International Consulting Program, or ICP, at the School of Business is usually something that students do later in their academic years, around junior or senior year, but if it's something that interests you, you should start checking it out and doing some research now. Studying abroad, taking a specific class for it, and then having a really nice complete project at the end of it are all really great experiences to add to your resume. Next up, the Tommy Vines HR Lecture Series is a new series that's been put on by the School of Business that brings in industry professionals to talk about common HR or business-related topics to the whole school. So be on the lookout for those announcements for when those events are coming up. And lastly, you want to think about academic projects that you've been working on. And by that, I mean any big project that you've been doing in a HR or an HR management related class. Has there been a big group project that you've had to manage? Was there a big project that you worked on and did on your own for the whole semester? Did it involve some sort of creativity or some sort of pitch or some sort of use of your management skills? These are great indications that you're using a skill set that you'll take with you to work. You're just doing it in an academic setting first. So those projects are all things you can put on your resume for sure, and things you can talk about in interviews. Next up, in the On Your Own column, one thing that some students don't consider is the ability to build upon where you already are in terms of a part-time or hourly job that you might have. If you're working at a job somewhere that isn't necessarily HR related, so let's say that you're working part-time, you're folding shirts at Old Navy. We've all been there, we've all had that job. And you can try asking your supervisor or your team members there, hey, is there any way that I can be a part of the hiring process or the training process? Can I be a part of interviewing or application review? Can you volunteer to train new hires if you've been there for a little while? Something like that. Most every business will have some sort of process that touches on HR skills. So if you have a job already, find out if you can kind of tweak your responsibilities to match your major. And chances are, if you're good at it, they might ask you to do more of it, which is great for skill building and kind of showing how you're growing in place and really taking advantage of where you are already. Also, think about joining up for the Society for Human Resources Management, or SHRM is what they call it, especially with that link down below to the Greater Richmond SHRM page with their membership center. Student rates are way cheaper than standard membership, so take advantage of that while you can. And SHRM is the governing body for HR management and a lot of certifications, so get familiar with their offerings sooner rather than later and see if there's anything that interests you. Other things to consider, LinkedIn Learning for sure, also volunteering with Hands-On RVA. Not all volunteering opportunities are like building houses for Habitat Humanity or doing a park cleanup. Those are out there too, but there are also places that might need folks to do clerical work, administrative work, things in an office environment that you can be a part of, especially if you have an interest in working with a nonprofit organization someday. Lastly, in our last column, internships are by far the most common and go-to ways we think of gaining quote-unquote experience in the field. Of course, this is what everyone thinks about. Internships can be paid or unpaid depending on where you look, although most paid internships will start around $12 to $15 an hour. Some might be more, some might be a little less. Internships usually run a semester, so you're thinking about fall, spring, or summer internships, and they can average about 10 or 20 hours a week during the school year, but sometimes those hours are more over the summer, especially if you aren't taking classes or if you're moving to a location that's other than Richmond. So if you get a summer internship and it's at Coca-Cola and they want you to go down to Atlanta, they might expect you to work more than 20 hours a week because you're doing it over the summer, you're in a new location. One thing to note that's especially cool for HR folks is that VCU HR here at the university will often hire student workers or hourly employees to do seasonal or hourly work within their department. So that means you can easily apply for and hold down these jobs while you're in school. VCU Human Resources is really huge and it covers both campuses. So be on the lookout for any job openings that involve entry-level work, data entry, kind of getting your foot in the door, especially during the summer when there's usually a busy hiring season when it leads up to the start of the fall semester and all the departments and all the units are hiring for the fall. So with all that in mind, if we're thinking about internships and where to find them, we're also going to want to talk about common HR job titles and what job families they fall into. So that is our next slide. For HR, the three that we've put together here are jobs that focus on 1, compensation and benefits, or comp and benefits, 2, recruitment, and 3, training. The compensation and benefit folks are really going to want to look for job titles that specifically mention comp or benefits, or human resources assistants, or generalists, like human resources generalist positions. The level of these jobs can really range from assistant to manager to specialist in the title. So really pay attention to the job description more than what the title is, and see what kind of experience they're looking for in applicants, because it can vary a lot. The recruitment bucket is going to focus a lot on recruiting, obviously, but other keywords you should look for include employment, placement, staffing, or talent acquisition or talent management, which are kind of fancier ways of saying recruitment. These are going to be positions where you're kind of headhunting. You're searching for the right candidates for jobs on behalf of a company. You're getting in touch with potential candidates from other companies on the regular. You're really kind of putting yourself out there and kind of matchmaking between your company and people who might be interested in applying. And the last column, training, on the other hand, is going to be more teaching. It's learning and developing those candidates that you hire once they arrive at a company. So this can be anything from onboarding and hiring to professional development and lifelong learning opportunities, anything that you're doing to keep the company's staff relevant and aware of new skills, new trends in the workplace. So this could be anything from like training or learning a new software system, if they're going to bring a software tool or they're going to bring some sort of new initiative into the company. Or it can be things like diversity and inclusion training, or workplace management, or how to communicate with each other, workplace skills. So it can be both hard skills and soft skills is what you're looking for in a training environment. So if you break it down, each of these 3 columns, comp and benefits is really going to be a person who enjoys understanding complex concepts and really breaking it down and counseling someone through that process, because people are going to come to you with questions and you're going to want to be really comfortable with answering a lot of questions. Recruitment is going to be outgoing, phone calling, setting up meetings, getting to know people, and building relationships. Training is going to be like teaching. You'll have patience, but you'll have a passion for learning and creativity and waiting for that light bulb moment when people get it. So speaking of light bulb moments, you may be wondering where in the world you should be looking to find all these job and internship postings, which is our next slide. So where to search for jobs? These 3 websites are really our holy trinity: Handshake, LinkedIn, and Indeed. You can look other places like Glassdoor, Snagajob, Monster, or even Craigslist, but those tend to be postings that are less vetted and less filtered. So you may have to wade through a lot of slush and a lot of things that aren't really legitimate in order to find something meaningful. Handshake, LinkedIn, and Indeed all have highly customizable filtering tools that allows you to kind of laser point your job or internship if you want to. And you can also make appointments with us to go over job searching and how to use these platforms if you like, which brings me to my next slide, how to make appointments. So if you log into Handshake, you'll see a toolbar at the top here that looks a lot like this one. You'll want to click that Career Center button, and then you'll have a series of prompts that'll ask you to choose your appointment type. You'll fill out a series of questions that ask you what day, what time, what person, what do you want to talk about, what topics do you want to cover, so forth. You'll hit submit and get a confirmation email from Handshake pretty fast, so you'll check your email for that too. Other contact information you should know are things here. Like I mentioned at the beginning, our physical location is B1102 Sneed Hall, but we are taking appointments through Zoom and phone for this semester, and that happens anytime between 9 and 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. You can call us at 804-827-1801 or drop us an email at bizcareer@vcu.edu. Our website is usually found using this address. You can go to the School of Business main website and search for career services, or you can just Google us. And lastly, you can follow us on social media for some fun stuff and good information too, with @SneedLife on Instagram. So that is a wrap for me and this presentation. So thank you so much for letting us be a part of your class today, and seriously, please let us know if there's anything we can do to help you out career-wise. Working with students is the most favorite part of all of our jobs, except for making presentations like this, of course. So don't hesitate to get in touch with us. We really want to help anyone out. So hope you have a great rest of your day, and don't forget to be excellent to each other. We hope to see y'all soon. Have a good one.